What is up, everybody? Welcome to Crunch Time. You know the drill. It's two of the sharpest minds in the industry. That is not myself. That's Tim, Tasteful Tides in the house. What up, Tim?
Yeah, not much. Always good to see you, Kevin. Always good to see Christy. Haven't done a show with you, I think, in about a month or about 3 weeks. So always good to see you guys. Definitely going to be an interesting slate. It's a smaller slate today, but I think there are some good ways to get different in tournaments.
Okay. The aforementioned Christy Metzger in the house. The chat's always clamoring for more Christy. She's always taking down tournaments, and always good to have your advice. Christy, how are you?
I'm doing great. Always good to do shows with you guys. Been looking forward to it today. So yeah, small little slate for us, but I think it's kind of a good one. So it'll be fun to break it down with you guys.
Okay. Well, I'm looking forward to that. We do have, I don't know if weather concerns are quite the right phrase, but certainly some weather worth mentioning, and that kind of starts and ends in Tampa. Every other game is totally fine. It is currently raining in Tampa, and there's more light rain moving in, but that light rain gradually fades away. First pitch is still an hour and 40 minutes away. That's a long time away, and at that point, it'll be mostly dry, and maybe they late start, but the rain is all fading away, and I fully expect that they will play ball in Tampa. So if you want hitters, go for it. If you want pitchers, go for it. I think things are going to work out pretty well there. I have the game as yellow for a chance of a late start. And that's it. That's all I've got. That is the only real noteworthy thing. So Christy, let's dive into the content side of things. As you look at pitchers on this 5-game slate, what do you like?
Yeah, so for pitching tonight, I think we're going to see some definite chalk, especially at the top. You got Jesus Luzardo, who's projected. I mean, you've got him in lineup HQ. You've got him tagged by pretty much everyone. So he's going to be very, very popular really on both sites just because it is a smaller slate. So I think getting different from someone like him is automatically going to make you look a little bit different. I think Taj Bradley is definitely someone that's going to be popular too. He's just $7K over on Draftkings. So I think Luzardo and Bradley are both going to be two of your chalkier plays over there. A couple of other guys that I like. You've got Slade Sassoni in there. He's cheap on both sites, and I think he's a decent pivot. Someone that you can take a look at. I know there's a couple people that have him tagged. I think Cards has him tagged going up against Baltimore. But they haven't, they've disappeared a lot this year. So I think he's a fine tournament play. And then, believe it or not, you've got Patrick Corbin in there as a GPP option too, at just 7.5K, cheap on both sites. I think he's a fine option too. So yeah, I'm kind of looking at those guys for my main guys. I think you can throw Max Fried in there too, maybe get a sprinkle too of Lucas Giolito. But yeah, I think the guys that I mentioned are the ones that I'm probably getting in my pool. And like I said, if you get different from Luzardo and Bradley, you're automatically going to look different because we've got Luzardo projected at 53% ownership, especially over on DraftKings tonight.
Okay, very good. Tim, what are you looking at? We've got Luzardo with the rainbow tags. I assume you're all aboard. All aboard! That was
I mean, Luzardo at 8,500 in this matchup, I think is too cheap, and he's clearly your SB1. I think in really all formats, and he's going to be my SB1 on FanDuel as well. I think that Luzardo and Taj Bradley are going to be like kind of your cash game pairing, and they're also going to be the two most popular pitchers on the entire slate. Taj Bradley is the guy I think I might consider coming in underweight in GPPs, but it's obviously a fantastic spot, and Taj does have upside. So it's kind of a difficult situation because he is going to be mega popular, but I think he is in a good spot. I was kind of disappointed when I read Dave Pott's article today that he mentioned that he likes Patrick Corbin because I know that Dave really does influence how people play because I really like Corbin today, and he was like the first pitcher that I initially had in there over Bradley. And if it's really going to be 45% Taj Bradley and 12% Patrick Corbin, then I would much prefer playing Corbin over Bradley. Now, Corbin obviously can struggle. Bradley is probably safer, but Corbin is my preferred SP2 and GPPs. And on FanDuel, Corbin's only 7,800, so you can really pay up for any of the bats that you want if you click on Corbin. And I think he's a fine play in GPPs over on FanDuel. So I do want to address Max Fried at 9,800 because we did have a question in chat about Fried. I don't really like him today. I know that he's a talented pitcher, but it's not. I mean, he's 9,800, so it's basically a ceiling price for him in a matchup that I don't think is really that good. So I'd have 0% of him in like a 3 max, and I probably have to build out more than 10 teams before I even get to any Max Fried. I would definitely be underweight the 29% mark. If that, in our projected ownership, I would definitely get lower than that if I was building out, a portfolio of teams. So I'm not really on Fried tonight. I don't mind if people want to punt with like JP Sears. I think that's okay. I think personally I would X out Chris Bassett just because the matchup is really bad. I don't mind Giolito, and I think Slade Ciccone at 7,500 is fine. I think he's kind of a middle of the road play. I'd rather play Bradley and Corbin over Ciccone.
Okay. I feel like we've done the thing. Christy, anything you want to add there at pitcher after hearing Tim's thoughts?
Yeah, no, I agree. I do think Corbin is a very interesting tournament play just because he's up against the Athletics, and I think they'll carry some ownership. So I do like that. But yeah, I definitely think Luzardo is the guy that I want to get more overweight. And Bradley, I think too, like Tim said, is kind of an interesting fade too. But yeah, those are the guys that I'm looking at too. And I think we can get a little bit different with the bats, which we'll jump in here shortly.
Yeah, Tim. Andy says Sears. Did you briefly bring him up?
He's fine. He's fine as a punt. It's definitely a lot of risk involved with that. And I think it's really easy to build out teams tonight. You kind of already have like 3 better options that are like only 1,000 more than Sears. But I'm not going to fault you if you click on his name.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. Let's go around the horn. I don't know. Let's talk about some of the stacks. How about that, Tim? What are you doing here, stack wise?
Yeah, so the Rays are going to be, I think, kind of the overwhelming chalk on the slate going up against Jonathan Cannon. They're the only team with an over 5 implied team total, so I think they're really going to be sticking out tonight. I ran Sims for the show, and it's obviously it's going to give me a lot of Tampa Bay, but I'm getting to a lot more Baltimore. So actually, Baltimore is my favorite way to get different. Now they are risky. It's definitely, it's not like a smash spot, but I think you're just getting a little bit of leverage off of Tampa Bay if you stack Baltimore. Obviously, New York is in a fantastic spot as well. So I guess I would rank them. I would rank them for me personally. It would be Baltimore, and then Tampa Bay, and then New York. So I think Baltimore is my 1A stack. And then if you want to just like get some fill-in pieces, I don't mind some of the Phillies, but I'm not really on full stacks of them. Those are like more like 3-mans for me. And then I know that I talked about that I like Corbin, but I would not fault anybody if they wanted to get to like some pieces of the Athletics, especially guys like Rooker or like Langelier.
Nice. Way to hit it with the French accent. Christy, I'm going to take a guess. Your top stack is the Yankees.
I do like the Yankees. I love the lefties. It's just Bassett has struggled, and they're all just sitting up so nicely. So yes, Bellinger, Rice, Grisham, Chisholm, all those guys, and of course Judge. But yeah, I really like those lefties tonight. So I do like the Yankees.
What are your top stacks outside of the Yankees?
Yep. So for the Yankees, Another stack that I like, have quite a bit of interest in. I do find it interesting that Baltimore was popping a lot in the sims, in a lot of our optimals and things like that. So certainly don't mind that. Texas is a stack that I'm getting to quite a bit. So and there's a lot of cheap bats in that Texas lineup too. But you've got Semien, you've got Seager, even in a lefty-lefty matchup against Sears. Don't mind that. Garcia, who's been hitting a little bit better. So yeah, I think Texas is kind of an intriguing stack. I do also like Tampa Bay, like Tim mentioned. Philadelphia, I think, is a fine tournament play too. I mean, you're getting guys like Schwarber, Harper, Turner, some of those guys going up against Giolito. So I think they're a great tournament play. But yeah, I would say the Yankees and Texas are probably two of my favorites, and I do like Baltimore right behind them too.
Okay, very good.
I do also like the Guardians tonight too. Maybe not as like a full 5-man, but as like a 3-man stack going up against Zach Eflin. So I do like Cleveland a little bit tonight as well.
Okay, let's go around the horn, talk position by position. Andy says, Christy, would you consider pinballing the Texas game? I don't know what that means.
Not either.
Tell us what that means, and then we'll let you know how she feels about that. Yeah. Let's go to the catcher spot. Christy, you get to lead us off. Who are we playing?
Yeah, so over on DK, you're going to see guys like Ben Rice, who I mentioned in the Yankees lineup. I like him on both sides. He's 3,100 over on FanDuel. He is one of our highest owned projected catchers, so I like that. Shea Longlier is always checking in as a great option. I do like him and Rooker, and I'll even get to it when we get to first base, but Nick Kurtz is going to be someone that I think is a great GPP target. So I like those guys quite a bit. You could throw in, I guess we didn't really talk about the White Sox stack, but I know a couple of guys had kind of mentioned them. Going up against Bradley, it's a good GPP pivot. I know there's a couple of guys that mentioned him in that stack in the expert survey. So getting to Kyle Teal, Bo Naylor on the cheap side. You could throw, Jonah Heim in there. Real Muto, I mentioned on the Phillies stack, but Rice is my highest known guy. And I like Shea quite a bit too, because there are some pieces on the Athletics that I think are great options against Corbin.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, because we found what pinballing means. Okay. It means playing both sides of the game. So that would be Texas and the Athletics.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. In fact, I built some. I mean, you can get some pretty nice stacks in there and pay up for pitching. And your lineup looks pretty good. So yes, I do.
Okay, very good. Tim, your thoughts at catcher, please.
Yeah, so the top 4 catchers are Rice, Langelier, Real Muto, and Danny Jansen. If you just want to mix and match those 4, I think you're going to be in a pretty good spot. If you're seeking some salary saving option, I guess it's probably Bo Naylor at 2,700, maybe a Jonah Heim at 3K as well. But I think you're really just mixing and matching, the top 4 of Rice, Langelier, Real Muto, and Danny Jansen. I think if I was looking for a one-off out of that group, out of that top 4, it would probably be Real Muto, because I think he's going to actually be the lowest owned of those 4 catchers.
Okay, very good. How about first base, Tim?
Yes. So it kind of depends on what you want to do with pitching today, but I'm currently playing Ben Rice at first in cash, but in GPPs. I think Bryce Harper is in a fantastic spot. Yanni Diaz at 4,700. Jonathan Aranda at 4,500. Those are all really good plays. If I was looking to save, I really like Kyle Manzardo, especially if he's going to be around 5% projected owned. So I think that's a really strong GPP play. And then same thing with Nick Kurtz at 4,800. It looks like he's going to be relatively low owned on the slate. So I don't mind him. Oh, and Ryan O'Hearn. Nick Kurtz and Ryan O'Hearn for me, I think are really standout large field plays.
Okay, good stuff. Christy, first base, please.
Yep. I know we talked about Rice. You can play him at either position, catcher, first base here. Aranda looks fantastic in the Tampa Bay stacks. But I am a little overweight on Nick Kurtz. I'm playing some of the 20 entry max tonight, and he's just a guy I get exposure to. And if you just watch him, I mean, he's just hitting home runs just about every day, it feels like. And he's been written up a lot. If you've been following some of our prop betting and things like that, we've been able to get good odds on him. And I believe he was written up again today. So I like Nick Kurtz there a lot. Especially in the lefty-lefty matchup. I do think Kyle Manzardo is a great cheap option, getting exposure to the Cleveland game on both sites. Certainly like that. And Ryan O'Hearn, I know was mentioned too, checks in really well in your Baltimore stacks.
Okay, Christy, second base, please.
Yes, so second base, there's a few guys that I like. So Marcus Semien, I had mentioned Texas. I think he's in a really good spot. Jackson Holiday, and they're probably going to be our two most popular plays. But then I like getting exposure to Jazz Chisholm. He's expensive. He's $5,500, a lot more expensive than Semien and Holiday. But I like Chisholm a lot. I like targeting, like I mentioned, those Yankee lefties. And so I think paying up for him is definitely going to get you different. We have him projected just with single-digit ownership here tonight. So I like him. I think you can play Martinez for Cleveland. He's another cheap bat at just 3,400, so certainly don't mind that play. But yeah, Semien, Holiday, Chisholm, Martinez are probably four of the guys that I have the most exposure to at second.
All right, Tim, second base.
Yeah, Jackson Holiday at 3,600, I think, is your cash game guy. I really like the Jazz call and GPPs. I really do like those lefties for the Yankees tonight. So he can definitely be part of a Yankee stack, or you can use them just as a one-off for some power. Angel Martinez at 3,400, I think he's an interesting GPP option. I would still find the 200 for Holiday in cash games, but I think Martinez is fine for GPPs. Personally, I think Semien is a little bit too highly owned for me. I get it, though. I completely understand that people want to click on him. I think it's okay. There are just, other options that I like more. And I'm just worried that he's going to be too highly owned for my liking. And then some of these other second basemen that are kind of like lower in salary and not projecting that well, they're only in stacks for me.
Yeah. All right. I think that brings us to third base, Tim.
Yeah, so Jose Ramirez, he's probably one of the best hitters on the entire slate. He may be the best hitter on this slate at 6K. I think he's pretty easy to fit here. So, definitely can be in cash games, any kind of format of GPPs. I think he's completely fine. If you don't want to spend that much, Junior Caminero at $900 less is okay. Same thing with Jordan Westberg as well. I think those guys are right, but I would prioritize getting to Jose Ramirez. And then if you're looking for some savings at the position, Josh Young at 3,400 and Ramon Urias at 2,800 would be my two preferred salary saving options.
Okay. Christy nodding in agreement. I think she's playing some of the same peeps.
Yeah,
Christy,
sure.
what do you like?
Yeah, exactly. I do. I like Westberg. I do, obviously I like Texas. So Josh Young, I think, is a great value option on both sites. Batting 5 tonight in the Texas lineup. Just 2,700 over on FanDuel as well. Caminero, I think, is a great play. Miguel Andujar, I believe, is batting 5 too for the Athletics. And so, if you need to save and get just a little bit different, I certainly don't mind that. But like Tim mentioned, it's pretty easy to get to Jose Ramirez just because, there are some decent value options and there's a couple of cheaper guys too out in the outfield that we'll get to. So, and you can obviously see he has the rainbow tag there. Everybody's on Ramirez in that Guardians game. But yeah, I would say Young, Westberg, Ramirez, Caminero, and then maybe throw in Andujar too.
Okay. Christy, how about shortstop?
Yep. So at shortstop, we've got Gunnar Henderson, looking pretty good, checking in to be the most popular guy tonight in the Baltimore lineup. I think Corey Seager, too, is obviously a great play. We've got him projected next highly owned. Jacob Wilson, obviously, is a cheap option. We talked about the Athletics. Cheap option really on both sites, so I like that. Trey Turner, I think the Phillies are a very interesting tournament stack. And so, if you're playing more than one entry, I would definitely get some exposure there. So don't mind that. Mentioned the White Sox just a little bit too. Chase Meadroff on both sites. I think if you're looking to get to the White Sox, very interesting play. He's carrying hardly any ownership and a little bit of a contrarian pick there. And then you've also got guys like Trevor Story. He's just 3,900. Again, for GPPs, don't mind that. But yeah, Henderson, Seager, Wilson, Turner, kind of agree with the top 4 projected shortstops tonight. Definitely have exposure to all of them.
Yeah. Tim, short, please.
Yeah, so Gunnar Henderson is definitely the top option today at 4,500. I think that just Baltimore overall is just a little too cheap today. So I really like him. If you don't want to play Henderson, my next favorite would be Corey Seager at 4,900, a little left on left action. I don't mind that at all today. I guess maybe Jacob Wilson would probably be my next favorite shortstop at 3,800 batting leadoff. Jose Caballero at 4K batting 9th, but I think he's an interesting part of that Rays stack. This position really isn't fantastic today. It's not as loaded as a spot as we usually have it, but I think he's okay. And if you want to get really, really different, I think Bo Bichette is somewhat interesting today, batting cleanup for Toronto.
Okay, very good. That goes to the outfield. We get to see what we're playing there. Tim, who are your favorites?
Yeah, so obviously Aaron Judge is fantastic, but I really like Cody Bellinger tonight. He's one of my favorite plays on the entire slate. Just these lefties against Bassett should do really, really well. So Bellinger, Trent Grisham, I think are really standout plays. I think you can definitely play Grisham in cash. You maybe even be able to play Bellinger in cash as well. I really do like both of them a lot. Brent Rooker against Corbin. Again, I don't really like the full stack of the Athletics. I do kind of like Corbin tonight, but Rooker is in a really, really good spot, and he's very, very affordable. We've talked about some of these Rangers. I don't mind getting to a little bit of Wyatt Langford at 4,200. Don't forget about Jason Dominguez in your Yankee stacks. He might go a little bit under owned tonight, and I just think they're in a really good spot. In that same price, like you also have guys like Cedric Mullins, Adolis Garcia are all really, really strong plays. And then if Taj is really going to be, incredibly highly owned, which I think he will be, I don't mind getting to a little bit of Luis Robert at 3,500 just as like a one-off. I don't really like the White Sox as a stack, but just getting to a little bit of Robert in GPP.
Okay. Christy, before you give us the outfield, can you spell Jason Dominguez's name? Just the first name.
Jasson.
Not even hesitation. Just absolutely crushed it. All right.
Yep.
Ace in the pop quiz, as is typical. What do you like in the outfield?
Yeah, so I liked him with his Bellinger call because that's actually my favorite guy in the slate tonight too. He's really been, yeah, exactly. He's really been starting to hit well and just has a lot of upside. So love Bellinger. I love Grisham too. He's really cheap on both sites, just 4,100 on DraftKings, 2,800 over on FanDuel. So I like those guys a ton. And 2 of the higher owned. And again, Dominguez, just like Tim mentioned, don't forget about him. I mean, we've seen him hit a couple of home runs. He definitely has the upside. He's got the power, and at a cheaper price, he might be the one that goes a little bit overlooked. So like that quite a bit. Rooker is, he's projected to be our highest owned, and I do like that play. He's reasonably priced on both sites. I also like, talked about some of those Tampa Bay guys too. You've got Josh Lau. Simpson is actually projected to carry about 18% ownership, and he's fast once he's getting on the base, potential to steal bags. So I like that. Adolis Garcia, I've talked a lot about Texas, so he's somebody I definitely want to have exposure to, and he's starting to hit better. He's just 3,800 on DraftKings, so he's a cheap piece there. So I like that. Should also mention Wyatt Langford in the Texas lineup as well. Also, like if you really need to save a little bit too, we've got Hellman batting first for Texas. He's cheap, so don't mind him. And then, kind of back to Baltimore too. Colton Cowser, I think really looks good. He's just 4K over on DraftKings. And like Tim mentioned, really a lot of those Baltimore bats are pretty cheap really on both sites. So like him as well. Let's see here. And of course, then for tournaments, Kyle Schwarber, Nick Castellanos, getting some of those Philadelphia bats in there too. Certainly don't mind that as well.
Christy, you mentioned a few salary savers. Cody in the YouTube says, any interest in Colby Thomas as a punt? I believe he's in for the Athletics.
Yeah. I didn't get to any of them. He is batting 6, and it's just like FanDuel, he's 2,100. I guess I'm not sure what his price is on DK.
He's a stone min, I think.
He's stone min over on DK too. Yeah. Yeah, I don't mind it, especially on a smaller slate like this too. And there's going to be a lot of chalk, maybe especially at pitching. So getting different at some of those pieces, I don't mind that at all. So yeah, I think Thomas is a fine play.
Okay, very good. The people want some home runs. They want some Tim's Taters. They want Christie's Crushers or Metzger's Mashers.
Oh, I like it.
They need the bomb calls. So I will let y'all think about some home run calls. In the meantime, I want to get them the best deal in the industry. I like a dum-dum. Already lost the promo read. Here we go. Fantasy Labs, your home for season-long fantasy football and best ball content. So season-long or best ball. If you do either one, you want Fantasy Labs. You get access to rankings, projections, articles, and more from award-winning experts Sean Corner and Chris Raybon. Fantasy Labs has an app that lets you get real-time rankings, draft cheat sheets, lineup advice on the go, the whole thing. It's perfect for when you're sitting down doing your draft. And you can sign up now with code RG15 for $15 off. I may have to do that myself because I'm trying to get into some best ball here at some point this season. Let's.
You're gonna be playing best ball, Kevin?
I want to do a best ball draft or two. I'm not going to go crazy, but I want to just have a little bit of sweat. I want to get in a couple drafts.
I need to start making my teams. I haven't joined any drafts yet this year.
I'm concerned that I'm going to piss people off because it's like when you're playing like blackjack and you hit you're not supposed to, and people are like, "No, you took my card." Like, no, I didn't. I just took.
I hate guys like that, so don't sit next to me at the blackjack table.
Well, you hate people who take your card?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do that. And I'm also going to blow up
don't
your
do
stat.
That. Don't sit anywhere near me then.
Like, you're going to draft a star wide receiver, and then in the next round, I'm going to take the quarterback for him. And just not intentionally, I just don't know what I'm doing, and I'm going to do the wrong thing, and people are going to get pissed at me. And I'm okay with that. I think there's a good chance people will look at my lineup and just assume I'm intentionally tanking and it's collusion. Like, people are like, "Oh, this person."
If you do it really bad, they'll cancel the whole draft.
That's so funny to me. Like, can you imagine the embarrassment if they cancel the whole draft just because I, trying my damnedest, blew up the whole thing, even though I was just trying to draft good? Mari says that's bad table etiquette, Roth. Don't be that guy. No, bad table etiquette is telling people what to do. You let people do their own thing. All right. Anyways, that was a tangent. We need some bombs. We need some taters. Tim, who do you like?
Yeah, I did just bet Cody Bellinger plus 425 on DraftKings.
Nice.
I'm considering Jason Dominguez at plus 600 because I really do like him tonight as well. So don't mind that. I'm not really seeing anything else that I would necessarily bet. I do like Shea Langelier for a home run tonight, though. He's plus 425 on DK, so that's not horrible.
And to be clear, for the people who just think we can't pronounce names, maybe we can't, but also for some reason 3 years ago we made him French. I don't know why we did that, and we're stuck with it. We're aware he's actually Langoliers. It happened. Someone said no K-Roth calls. Adolis Garcia, right? I think he's playing.
I like it. It.
That is my bomb call.
Everyone in chat is with you, Kevin, on your blackjack theory.
You see, you just do what you want, man. You can.
I'll pay for all the beers that you want to stay away from me.
Yeah.
In the pit. Okay?
I'm gonna.
How about that? How about that?
I'm gonna come to the casino with you then. That sounds
all right.
Sounds like a win-win, man.
Fantastic.
How about some Metzger's Mashers, Christy? What do you got for us?
I love it. Well, Bellinger was definitely on my list, so I just love that. But I'm gonna go Nick Kurtz. He's been a guy I've just been riding with, and I think he might go a little bit overlooked too, just because of the matchup tonight. So I like Nick Kurtz quite a bit. And then besides him and Bellinger, I'm also going to throw in Josh Young for Texas, along with your Adolis Garcia call. I like those Texas bats.
Little Texas mini stat getting it done here. Okay, let's see if we've got any questions coming in the old Discord and the YouTube. By the way, if you're watching and you're like, wow, these two surrounding the idiot weatherman are so smart. They deserve a like. Make sure you hit that thumbs up for us. I know it's a smaller show, probably don't have quite as many people watching, but those thumbs ups really do go a long way to help keeping the show free. We want to keep it free for decades and decades, and we need eyeballs to do that. Otherwise, the whole thought process falls apart. So make sure that you're hitting that thumbs up. It's for us and it's for you. DK Cash, Tim, one off. Grisham or Langford?
Grisham.
Okay. And this is my argument. John says bad blackjack plays don't affect the odds for players downstream. I could steal your 10 and bust, Tim, just as easily as I could get the 2 that I need and that saves your ass.
I don't disagree with John at all. It just annoys me.
Okay, that's fair.
That's the issue.
That is totally fair in that case.
Yeah, I agree with what John just said, though. Yeah.
All right. As long as
I know that.
Okay, that's cool. Then we're all in agreement. You are totally allowed to not like a certain thing. Christy, DK Cash question for you. It is a 3v3.
Okay.
It's Judge, Westberg, Realmuto, or Ramirez, Garcia, and Naylor.
I think I'd go Ramirez, Garcia, and Naylor.
Very good. Christy, right back to you from D-Rock, DK, GPP, Vladdy, or Harper?
I'm going Harper.
Okay. Jumping into the YouTube, where I'm sure everyone has already hit their little thumbs ups here. DK Cash question, Tim. Westberg, Grisham, or J-Ram, Hellman?
So I do really like J-Ram and Cash. Hellman is worries me a little bit because he does have pretty significant pinch hit risk.
Yeah.
That being said, I don't really like Westberg and Cash either. So I guess it's the J-Ram Hellman. I would actually go. I think Kobe Thomas has a much lower pinch hit risk than Hellman. So I think I might prefer Thomas and Cash. But either way, if you click Hellman and Cash, just know that he has pretty significant pinch hit risk.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Christy, a couple for you here. Rooker or Story. Shout out to John in the YouTube. He's got the RotoGrinders logo, which looks so good. John, Rooker or Story on FanDuel, last man in?
Rooker.
Very good. Scrolling down. Christy, thoughts on Kepler?
I don't mind him. I think Philly is just going to come in so low owned. So yeah, I certainly don't mind Kepler at all.
Okay. Very good. Maryi says, we love Tim and Christy. Yes, we do. That is a fact. Tim, Hellman and Realmuto, or Rice and Colby Thomas?
That one is definitely Rice and Colby Thomas for me.
Okay, great. Don says, hey, Christy, if I might ask, what's a GPP pitcher you like today? Large field, please, and thank you. That's a lovely promise.
I think for tournaments, I think for large field, I think the Corbin call is a good one, just because, he's cheap and coming in at quite a bit lower ownership. So I think he's a good GPP pitcher.
Okay, great. Flying Armbar says, favorite pitcher, no matter the price on FanDuel. Christy and Tim. So Christy, you can go first. Your favorite pitcher, no matter the price on FanDuel.
I think because there's so much value and whatnot, I still think Luzardo is my favorite. I just kind of agree with him as being a good GPP and cash game option. I'd have to go Luzardo. Yeah.
Tim?
Yeah, I mean, it's Luzardo or Corbin for me.
Okay. Flying Armbar says, I love my Roto family. I would be lost without you guys and gal. Guys and gal. Hey, we love you, man. We appreciate everybody who hangs out with us just
For sure.
on the daily. Let's see. Eat My Shorts says, hey, Tim, can I get Manzardo's pinch hit risk percentage? Do you happen to have that?
It's 8%, which is basically non-existent.
Oh, nice. Very good. TJ Moose Manzada says, I'm late. Who are your favorite stacks tonight? Christy was Yankees in Texas. Was that it?
Yep. Yankees, Texas, Baltimore, probably right behind them.
Tim?
Mine's Baltimore, Yankees, Rays. Yeah, those are my top three.
Eric says, QQ, I have 30% Cannon. Is this too much fun? Now to be clear, this is Eric Johnson. So
yeah,
everything
I bet he's trolling. And yeah, that is way too much fun for me, Eric.
But the thing is, we don't know. You never really know if he's trolling or not. Does he just always play crazy plays? We're not sure. Tim, DK 3-man. It's a 3v3 in a 3-man. Sears, Judge, Laureano, or Bradley, Schwarber, Kauser.
I don't know if I would play Sears in a 3-man. I would probably just go that Bradley, Schwarber, Kauser part.
Okay. Luke says, it's great having Christy on for MLB. I'm looking forward to her NFL shows even more. Football emoji, $sign emoji.
Love it. Love it. I can't wait too. And it's just right around the corner, getting so close.
Yeah. And I assume you will be doing some content for us, some shows for us during football.
Absolutely.
Okay. Always good to hear that. DKGPP, Christy, Rooker, or Simpson?
I still think straight up I'd go Rooker, but I do like them both, but I'd go Rooker.
How many live final tickets will you win this NFL season, Christy?
I hope at least 1 or 2. I hope.
Okay. I like your chances. Let's see. DKGPP. Did we get this one already? Large field tournament, Tim, from Blink 182. I love 6 hitters I'm using and my pitchers. The question is the last 2. Is J-Ram worth using if it means I have to play Stallings at catcher, Tim?
Yeah, I would go J-Ram Stallings. Nice. I would.
Yep. Very good. What else do we have? Christy, Cleveland Picker says, by the way, less than a minute. 300 left for Simeon for a mini stack, or keep Angel Martinez in my mini Guardian stack?
So could get to Simeon, you said? Simeon?
300 left for Simeon, yes.
I like Simeon tonight, so I think I'd go Simeon.
Okay, very good. DKGPP, Christy, I've got a ton of Luzardo, but is there a pair of pitchers we can use to get off of him in a large field GPP?
On DK?
Yes.
Yeah, on DK. Yeah, I think getting to Corbin, like we mentioned, I think that's a great option. Corbin and anybody else will get you any different, but I think I'd get Corbin in there for sure.
Okay. I've got a few more questions. We are moments until lock. Tim, Garcia Seager or Rooker Wilson on FanDuel?
Garcia Seager.
Okay. Rays or Philly stack, Tim?
Rays for me, but they're also going to be higher owned, so just keep that in mind.
Okay. Jeff says, hey, Roth, any weather concerns? I had to put in lineups last minute, didn't check. Tampa is the lowest level. The answer is no. Do whatever you were going to do. They might late start in Tampa, but the rain is clearing now, and it's an hour until first pitch, and I don't think there's going to be any more rain. So I don't even think they're going to need the late start, honestly. I think that game is going to be fine, regardless of if they have a brief late start or not. Tim, Schneider pinch hit risk. We did get a kind of a post-lock question.
Yeah, 60%. That's pretty significant. So
that is pretty high. Okay. Well, we did the things that we came here to do. Talk some pitchers, talk some hitters, some home runs, some weather, answer some questions. I think it's time to clear on out of here. So for Tim and for Christy and for our wonderful production crew, always working hard behind the scenes, guys, we appreciate you. We love you, and we will catch you tomorrow. You have been